what we've been talking about lately is our families. So sometimes it's a little bit challenging to navigate life with in-laws.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about in-laws today.
Fun.
The good, the bad, and the challenging.
Yes. Let's start off with when we first met ours. Okay. So this will be when I first met mine. She was not very warm, and actually, the one that was warmer to me and kind of, I guess, once I got the okay from her, initiated like the rest of the family being more open to me was actually your mother-in-law. So I've always had like a very warm spot for her because she was like the first one to be like nicer to me, welcoming. And so I thought like when I would come around and my mind would kind of like blow me off in a sense. When I felt like your mother-in-law started like being more open to me is when I felt like now my mother-in-law was starting to be like, okay, well, if she's cool with her and now everyone else is being cool with her, like let me.
I'll be cool with her.
So I think like for me initially it was very surprising that she didn't like me because I feel like everybody should like me, but I just felt like she was very closed off from the get-go. And then I have a
Like
sister.
she didn't even give you a chance.
No, like at all. Like I remember that when I went, I took my husband, well at the time my boyfriend, told me I should have maybe just kept it my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
My boyfriend at the time told me she liked to drink like the Stella Rosa wine. So I remember that I took some, and it was her and two of her sisters, and the table that they have was like facing the wall. But when I went and took it to them, she like said thank you. They grabbed the wine and then they went to the table and then sat down. So like, you know, like when they're sitting down now, they're giving you the back what my mother-in-law was. So I thought like, okay, and there was really not much conversation, like nothing to get to know me or anything like that, which I guess I understand that now looking back, only because my boyfriend at the time used to take a lot of people around.
Oh.
So I think she was kind of like, okay, like just another girl that's coming, and though she won't be here long. But I think like after you saw that I was coming around, you would think that you would want to get to know me because I'm going to be with your son, or I've been with your son. So that was a little surprising to me. And then when I saw that with my sister-in-law, who had been with my brother-in-law for so long, there was, the dynamic was just not what I would have expected for them being like around each other or living together for so long. So I was like, if she ain't gonna be in, I'm not gonna be in, like ever, you know, because this girl got years on me. So I think I kind of just accepted it at that point. And my sister-in-law, one time we had a conversation about it. She's like, and so how did you feel? Like, did you feel a little intimidated at all about her being cool with, you know, your boyfriend's ex? And I'm like, no, because I never knew that she liked her. Like, I, from what I understood, she didn't. So I think up until recently, like a few years ago, I knew that she did. But then I realized it's not even me. It's just the way things are. She's a little closed off, and then my husband is like her
golden child.
I mean, I would think, I think now her youngest is the golden child, but for sure there was like a huge attachment, I think, to him, and so that's why she wasn't very open. But then there was times where she was not only not open, but a little kind. And I'm very lucky because my husband would like correct it, but it was still hurtful. And then sometimes I would take it out on my husband, which although it's not his fault and he was correcting it, it made me angry, you know.
But he was standing up for you.
He was,
and that's a pure form of love.
Yes, for sure.
Give him credit.
Yes, and that's the thing that my mom has always said. Like, I really appreciate that about him because not everybody could do that. But still, I mean, I'm human, so sometimes I would get upset. And then, like, I remember one time on Christmas Eve, I don't remember what she said, but I know that I went home crying. Like, not crying like sobbing, but I was like teary eyed. And then I'm like, I was more mad at her this time because I'm like, you're literally making me, like, ruining my Christmas Eve that we came to see you an hour and something away. And it was like, she would throw a lot of subtle comments, like
little jabs.
yeah,
here and
yeah,
there.
there you go. And I remember, like, now I was annoyed with my husband, and I knew it wasn't his fault, so, like, I was able to correct myself right then and there, but I couldn't help what I felt. Like, I would still be nice, but inside I was like, your mom, you know what I mean? So I feel like if he had not been the way that he was, with very having my back, very giving my place, like, that's my girlfriend, that's my girl, that's my wife. And even, I mean, our relationship hasn't been perfect, but the minute that they want anything, he's like, nope. I don't think we would have made it. Like, that's how much I feel like it impacted, you know? And
how much of, like, if you're a mother-in-law out there, why do you act like that? There really is no need.
yes.
Like, there's no need to be disrespectful or rude to the girlfriend, the wife. Like, why? Like, why do women act like that towards other women? You know, I always like wonder, like, why? And for me, I thought we had a good relationship. I thought we were cool. You know, I feel like I was way too nice, way too kind in certain situations. But like, everything I feel is a learning. And will I ever do that again? Absolutely not. Now my boundaries are set for life, to where don't ever count on me on certain situations, certain things, because that was a betrayal on your end. Because not only were you coming towards me, but it ended up,
She was coming for you.
she was coming for me, but in my marriage. She was trying to cause things towards, like, to break up my marriage. And that's not right to me. Like, I'm a mother-in-law. You know, I'm a
2
mother.
boys.
Yeah, I have 2 sons. They have girlfriends. They've been with them for a long time, younger. And we've always had conversations to where, okay, I don't agree with that. Like, if, you know, for example, my son was moving in with his girlfriend when they were like 18, 19, or like 19, 20, something like that. And I talked to them. I didn't agree. They're too young, you know, because a relationship is not a game. To me, is like, if you are going to live with somebody, you are committing to that person, to respect them, to be with that person. And you can't be going back and forth. It's a big commitment. Anyways, we talk about stuff, and I've never once disrespected them or gotten even involved in their relationship. If anything, I'm a girl's girl. I've told the girls, like, stand your ground. Like, you know, it's your guys' relationship. I know my place is after their family now, because that's a family they're creating. And I have a good relationship with them. I know that within time we'll get closer and closer, because it's, you know, it's within years. But I make a point to get to know them. I love them because they love my sons. They help them grow. They respect them. With the simple fact that they're there for them, I love them. What kind of mother would not want their sons to be happy with somebody? And if you see that this individual or this person is helping your son grow, become a better man, you know, has a better job, has more confidence, is doing what a man is supposed to do, why would you be upset at that?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And even, like, for my mom being a mother-in-law, like, I see her and I'm like, my sister-in-laws love my mother-in-law, and they'll text her and they call her, and, you know, and if my brothers can't go, they will be there. And it's like, because they want to. And for my situation, I mean, it never got to that extent, but I do think it was because the waters were tested and my husband was quick to shut it down. But no doubt about it, years back, and even I feel like now, if there was to be any sort of issue and my husband was to be like, I need a break or something like that, God forbid, she would be like, well, then take it. Take the break. Take the time that you need. Take, versus like my parents, even if I was the one that, like, oh no, like, I need a break, or, you know, my parents would be like, no, relax, talk about it, see what options you guys have. Like, they really would be like, hear each other out, look at what you're doing or what you're not doing.
Each other's perspective.
Yes, like, they would totally be for us fixing and correcting and not drawing more space between, where I don't think that support would be there.
On either side, it's more like, oh, well, it didn't work out. Okay, cool. Come on back, where it will take you open arms, you know, and cradle you again. And that's not holding your son accountable or helping them grow. That's coddling them. That's keeping them from the world, letting them know
but it's
okay.
like unhealthy because like our husbands are grown men.
Like it is very unhealthy because why would you, like, again, not want them to be successful? Why do you want to keep them sheltered as men?
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Yeah, it's definitely a little odd to see, especially like me seeing the way that my dad has raised my brothers. So it's very different. But I think more than anything, I think like how sad that I will never have that like relationship with a mother-in-law. I mean, I'm very blessed for my mom, so you know I do a lot of things with my mom. But even for my husband, like he'll never have like us hanging out, and I have hung out with her before. I have for him, for the love that I have for him. I try to like, okay, let's go have coffee, let's go get a massage, or you know, hey, let's grab your mom some flowers. And I think for me, I've kind of accepted, like, I know we say, like, don't accept behavior of, like, oh, this is how they are. I literally feel like that's where I've gotten, where I'm like, that's how she is. Like, I just have to brush her off, and it doesn't bother me anymore how it used to. But I see that, obviously, at the end of the day, it bothers my husband. Yeah. And that upsets me, because I wouldn't put him in that situation to feel like he has to choose who he wants to spend time with or whatever. And if he's being put on that, he's thankfully does choose me, but it shouldn't be that way, because I'm willing to set anything aside, or whatever you feel for me or don't, like set that aside so we can all be together while my husband's here.
That's or, like never an intention for us to be like choose or one or the other. Like, why do you even have to get to that point?
And it's not the same. No. We don't have the same roles in his life.
We can all get along. Like, there's no need for somebody to hate us or, you know, I don't want you with my son. Why?
Yeah.
And so it's really challenging out there. So if you guys are experiencing this, know you're not alone. And if you do have a chance to be a mother-in-law and you have these kind of feelings, you really dig deep and see why you're having these feelings and emotions, because it shouldn't. You are missing out on a relationship you can build with the person that is with your son. You know, and so I have great moments. Like, I adore these two girls that are my daughter-in-laws, super cute, and we're building, like I said, our relationship, and there's nothing that I would change about that. And so I think a lot of times it's now our mother-in-laws will not get, they're gonna miss out on
do already miss out, not only on us but on the grandchildren, on their son's life, which I think that's where I'm like confused. Like, you literally feel so strong about that you're willing to miss out on certain things on your grandkids and your son, you know, because I can never see myself doing that or my parents doing that. They would rather bite their tongue than ever have me have an issue with my husband, or I mean, depending on what it is.
It is, yeah.
But to just be mean or miss out on my kids, like even if they were to be mad at my husband, they will be there for my kids, because those are their grandbabies, because I'm their daughter still.
But honestly, do they even have a valid reason to be mad at us or not like us? Because if we want to get to situations, I honestly think my family is very forgiving, and they move forward, and they don't think about the past. They don't judge you for your past. It's like, okay, we learn about that, let's move forward and continue. And if anybody could be mad, it could be the other way.
Right.
You know, but my family, it's like, no, we're not talking. They really see that they have no reason to be upset at anybody. If anything, they encourage our marriage, our relationship. I mean, I know that this probably goes the same for you, but we love hanging out with my family, and I don't ever force it or we're gonna go with my family. It's because of the warmth and welcomeness that they provide that my husband feels so comfortable hanging out with all of them. Yeah. You know, but I can't say it's the same the other way around, and that's really sad.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it's also sad that we don't have that same level of welcome when we would do so much for them. If even if they weren't like full on open to us, but just a little bit, like that's just how we are. It's in our nature to be like giving and because we love our husbands, we want to, like, you know, make everything around them peaceful.
Go above and beyond.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, it is unfortunate, but it just makes you that much grateful for what you do have. I do love that my husband's really close to my family. And sometimes I joke about it, and, you know, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not so funny. I think when it's not so funny to him, it may be more hurtful than anything. And for me, I'm just like a very playful person, and I can accept things, so I'm just like, okay, it is what it is, you know?
You have thick skin.
But yeah, but like when people tell me about their mother-in-laws, I always joke around. I'm like, so tell me more, like, tell me what it's like, you know? My ex-mother-in-law, when I've seen her, it's like she's so sweet to me and stuff. I've never had like issues, so honestly, I didn't expect this to ever be a thing that I would like encounter.
Yeah.
And
Same thing with my my kids' grandma, my ex-mother-in-law. Such a sweetheart. That woman had my back, and you know, I would go to church with her. Like, such a sweetheart. And so the relationship there and dynamic was so different that I never even thought, okay, I'm not gonna have a good relationship or get along with someone, especially that role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's. I lost my train of thought.
They're supposed to show how shitty people can
If any mother-in-law has a reason, I guess it would be my mother-in-law, because there has been things that I have done or acted and stuff like that on in like poor behavior, but
as in being a little bit reactive.
as in being a little reactive, but also like no, don't. One thing about me is like, don't get involved with me and my husband, because I will be very upset. I don't care if I'm fighting him. I'm fighting him. Do not get involved. And so I don't care if it's his mom or whatever, because only I know what we're arguing about. So sometimes I have acted out, but never to a level where like it's like beyond, we cannot, whatever, you
Forgive.
know. And the thing for me is like, you were like that even before, so it wasn't like, oh, that's what did it. It was always like that. So not to excuse my behavior, because I could have done better. I am a better person now.
We're a work in progress. We're a work in progress.
For
We're
sure.
not perfect.
But if
We're
anybody, like if our mother-in-laws, I would definitely say, I guess my mother-in-law could be like, no, porque she talks a lot, she says a lot, or she's said a lot. But also, I don't put up with certain things. I will be like, no, that's not right. And I'm not gonna just be there and sit there and, you know. And actually, you know, earlier we were talking about certain approach or stuff. My approach has always been so respectful with her. When I've addressed things, and like one time, she was actually talking about your relationship with her sister, and she said like, oh, like I'm so envious of it. Literally, I don't know if it's because I got defensive immediately, because it was like, you're my friend, you know, and then she used envious, which to me is like such an ugly word, that I was
when
like,
you envy somebody.
yes. And not just that, I felt like too, the way that she was saying it, like if I would be like jealous. And you know, we've had very many conversations where we have never like felt like that about each other. So I felt like, you're trying to turn me like on my friend, like no.
Or to make you feel bad because like, oh well, like my friend over there has a relationship and I don't have it with her, kind of, in a sense.
Yeah, like I just felt like it didn't come from a good place of like, oh, I'm so happy that my sister has a relationship with her daughter. I know she was trying to use it to like
To get to you.
throw a jab at me. Yeah, for sure. And then I was washing dishes, right? So then I'm washing dishes, and I was like, well, yeah.
So you're washing dishes.
Yes, right? I'm washing dishes because she had made us a delicious breakfast. Eso sí le doy. That lady can cook, like, so good. I love her food. I love going over to eat, you know? But I think she just kind of struggles with it. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like she's being so genuine. And I've told you, like, oh, she like really hugged me tight this time, or I don't know. And then
felt warm.
Whenever I see her like 3 months later, she's kind of like, eh. And then I'm like, oh, I guess we're not that cool anymore, like, you know. But that one time that she said that, I remember I stopped washing dishes, and I was like, well, I never expected to have a mother-in-law that I don't get along with. I said, but I would never be envious of my friend. I said, if anything, she deserves that, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I said, so the fact that it's not like that with us, that is sad, but I would never say that I'm envious of my friend. And I remember that I think I stopped washing dishes and I went to go sit in the living room, and then she was really upset with my father-in-law and my husband there, and I was like, because she started crying, I was like, is my husband gonna get mad at me? Like, and
But you didn't say nothing.
I
disrespectful.
didn't, but the way that she was crying, it would have been like if I had like slapped her or something. And so then, and all at the end of the day, that's his mom. So like, I really was like, he's gonna be mad at me or something, you know? I mean, honestly, I don't think I really knew. So I was just sitting on the couch, and then I went outside, and of course, no one answered me that day when I was calling everyone. I called you, I called my mom, I called my dad, and then finally I called my little brother. And my little brother was like, well, where are you at? Like, do you need me to pick you up? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how my husband's gonna react yet. Like, he hasn't came out yet. And I told him I was not rude to her, but she knows I'm upset. And it's like, no, like, I am just so tired of you, like, little comments here and there, you know?
Like pushing my buttons for no reason.
Yes, like, and then against my friend, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what
Her
reaction
intent was about with it.
It wasn't a good one, but I don't know what reaction she was expecting, or maybe she thought I was just gonna be quiet. And then, yeah, she was gonna be happy that she got that little comment out. But when my husband came out and he was like, okay, like, we're ready to go, this and that, and I was like, okay, we're good, you know? And then I was like, I remember that I started walking towards inside, and there's like little stairs, and he was very confused. He's like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm gonna say bye to your parents. And he was like, you are? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm still gonna say thank you for the food. Like, I still ate everything. I was so happy, you know, to have come. I said, but it's not okay that she's doing that, and that's my friend. And so then he was like a little bit, I think he was shocked at I was shocked that he was not mad, or maybe not shocked, but I just was unsure of how he was gonna be. And then I felt that relief, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so when I went, now they were in the backyard.
But like, he's always had your back.
Yeah,
so
he has. But I never seen her cry like that.
Oh, so you thought maybe that cry was gonna be
like obviously, I mean, I don't know, like, I think, yeah, maybe because she was crying, the way, like I'm telling you, the way that she was crying, it was like,
someone died.
Well, like, you know,
it
was bad.
It was bad.
And so I just was like, oh my gosh, you know? I was like, oh my gosh, like, I really would, and like, my husband's, I feel like sometimes when he gets upset, he could be like, very like, you know, so I was like, I don't know, maybe, and because that's his mom, sometimes you can be blindsided because of your emotions, so I just really didn't know, like, if he was gonna be, and I knew he wasn't gonna be like super upset, but if he was mad, like, he probably wasn't really gonna talk and be like, let's go, or whatever. And then anyway, so I went to the backyard, and then I was like, thank you so much for the food, like, everything was really good, and this and that. And then she said, like, I didn't mean to be rude, I didn't mean to disrespect you. And I said, the thing is, you're saying things, and that's my friend, and I don't know why you're saying that. I said, I never expected to have a relationship like this with my mother-in-law. I thought it would be a good one. And she said, I have a lot of resentment towards you. I said, well, you need to let it go, because my family could have resentment towards my husband, and they choose not to because they love me, and they know that I choose to be with him. And a marriage is not easy, but it's much less easy, or less easier, when you have people in your ear, or negative, like, aura around, when it's coming from two people you love. I said,
you put them in a situation
I said, I'm your granddaughter's mother, so I feel like we need to move forward. Even from this, we need to move forward, because then in the end, we're not going to come over. My husband's going to be the one that is really affected by it, because he loves you and he loves me. And, you know, I said, and you know, marriages are not easy. And she knows. So I think after then, she was like, yeah, that conversation needed to happen, because after that, we ended up staying like 3 more hours, and things just have never gone to what they have been. I mean, there's been little comments here and there, but it's just never been like that. And also, I think she knows, like, okay, she definitely never tells me anything about you, and I know when she's trying to like spot check, like, oh, how are they doing,
like,
or whatever.
I'm
like, girl, you know, you know. But I think now she learned, you know, there's boundaries, and she also is like because I was like, I'm gonna be here regardless. I'm gonna be with your son, so she knows like I'm not going anywhere. And even at that point, I had already been with her son for like what, 3 or 4 years.
More.
No, because it's already been quite a few years since then.
So that-
I'm already gonna be 10 years with my husband.
But you already had both girls when that happened.
Yeah. Sienna's just turned 6. So that was when I had been with my husband for like,
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, time flies.
Nice.
And so ever since then, I feel like it wasn't, or no, maybe not. Because you hadn't been with,
No, we
Why?
hadn't been like that long.
so then 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago? Or 3 years ago?
Because we're gonna be together 5 years, so I think maybe 4 years ago.
Okay. then
Yeah,
4
I think a
years
little bit
ago.
after a year.
And yeah, and so like it's been like pretty good and stuff, and obviously
I think
like,
that was something that had to happen where
Yes.
you let her know, hey, like I'm gonna address things when I don't agree with them respectfully, and we're gonna move forward from them. Because if you would have also gotten upset, okay, let's go and not go back to
Yeah.
address it and kind of be there and to show her like I'm not going anywhere. Either we get along and just move forward from this. I think it would have continued.
Yeah.
So-
And then also, I think, like how you were saying, my husband has always had my back. I never really said anything because he handled it. So this time that it was me, like, no. It was like, oh, okay. You know, he didn't, like, fight her battle, and she was respectful. And even when we left, I remember that my husband was so, like kissing my hand and was like, I love you so much. Like, you were so respectful, but, like, you were like, no, like, it's not right.
Standing your
And
ground.
I respect that from you, and like this and that, or of you. And I thought like, yeah, and I felt better afterwards. I hope she felt better, you know. We definitely now entered like a different, you know, place in our relationship. And even then it's still not like what I would have liked to have it with a mother-in-law, but I'll take it for what it is, you know. Like I said, maybe I do a little it's a little like not a great thing that I just kind of like, well, that's just the way she is. Like I just let her kind of be and stuff. But I do feel like she doesn't have daughters. So like you could have, and now she doesn't have my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law, although like they clashed, was a big part of like the girl part of it, of, you know. And so I do, she doesn't even know this, but I do feel bad because I do know that we both feel her I don't want to say loss, but like, you know, it's just changed. And she was very like, okay, for Thanksgiving, she took the lead on certain things where I don't have, it doesn't, I don't want to say I don't have it, but it doesn't come to me naturally. It doesn't excite me to be like, hey, let's, you know, and it's unfortunate, but it's because of the way that things have been, you know? So, I mean, as time goes on, I hope that it continues to get better, but, you know, as you guys have had with your mother-in-law and their sisters and stuff, unan, how do you say, like,
They unite.
yes, exactly. And so then I feel like then she's more like standoffish and stuff, especially with what's you know, transpired recently. So she knows, like, okay, especially because my husband is, I'm not very reactive. My husband is like, you know, and so I think she's more like,
And not mine. Mine's not reactive like that.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, because of that, I feel like she kind of rather take a step back, especially because she's hanging out with your mother-in-law. So she probably don't want to hang out with me very much because it might upset yours. You know, so I don't know.
Which is unfortunate. Why
Oh,
we're
for
even
sure.
in this situation. But yeah, hopefully things can fix themselves because life continues and you're missing out on so much. Like our lives are not guaranteed forever. And this time that you are not talking to whoever you choose not to talk to, you're just missing out.
Yeah, for sure.
You won't ever get that back.
So hopefully you guys have better luck with your mother-in-laws. And hopefully your man has your back and is like, you know, it's worth it, because I do think that that's a big part of your life. Like I do tell my daughter, I don't care how much you love that man. Don't put yourself in that situation, because eventually you're gonna have kids and it is gonna hurt your feelings when they don't call to see how they're doing because they don't really care for you. Or like they're not just checking up. And not to say like I'm not telling you, and she does buy them stuff. Like anytime we go to her house, she'll have something for the girls. But if my husband's not in town, she will not call me to see how the girls are doing. And to me, I feel like sometimes my kids do say like, "Oh, I miss her." I mean, there has been a couple times when I've gone and I'm like, "Hey, we're gonna go over," you know, and we'll go and we have like really good conversation. But sometimes I feel like she like stops herself from like
having fun and getting to know you.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, like I said, it is what it is. It's fine, but I do feel like I would want better for my daughter, and especially
absolutely.
if she's gonna give like her all, then she deserves to be loved by any mother-in-law,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, because you think like how open and loving our families are to their sons, you know, but yet they don't return the same to the daughter, our parents' daughters, which is
Yeah.
us. So definitely teach your daughters self-love and know that when you marry someone,
You do marry the family, especially the mother.
And if you are a mother-in-law, remember, self-reflect, dig deep, because life is short and you can have a beautiful relationship with your in-law, whether you're a daughter-in-law with your mother-in-law, mother-in-law with your daughter-in-law. Life is too short and it's beautiful. We can all go out for coffee.
Yes.
We can all go out to eat, to get a massage,
Yes.
together.
Exactly.
No need to not get along.
Yes. So if you're a mother-in-law and you start having ugly feelings, check yourself, because it's just better to be kinder. And plus, if they make your kid happy, that should make you happy.
Yes.
And not to say that they're going to be perfect or anything like that, but don't be mean. Don't, like my parents never try to cause problems between anybody. Like they're more like, supportive. So,
Absolutely.
and if you have any stories, please share below. Your experiences. If you've had even if you've had amazing mother-in-laws, we'd love to hear.
We'd love to
We'd love
through
to
you.
move through. Yeah, exactly, through your experiences. So let us know or share in the comments.
Or share in the comments.
Toodles.
Bye.
That's what you say, actually.